today's episode of Eppy's Chop Shop. I get the S10 running, start drinking whiskey, and then successfully set myself on fire. Cheers. Yeah, buddy. Welcome back to the Chop Shop, guys. We're just kind of gun-ho hopping into this. I kind of already started doing some work. So, first and foremost, working on the S10s. We're going to dig a little bit into it here in just a second. But a quick recap of the S10 project is there's actually a card more parts. We have a 4x4 drop kit from DJM, including spindles, shocks, flip kit, springs. We have a full new fuel system. We have a full ignition system. We have drilled and slotted rotors. We got parts galore. We also have, they look a little bit small, but they're going to look better when it's lowered. We also have our cheapy eBay white wall tires up on here. And I kind of dig them. I also took the effort to wire wheel and paint the rims. And, I mean, it looks a little better than that, right? We're already making improvements, and I'll sneak the clip in right here. I kind of started goofing around just kind of to see if it was going to fire up, and it fired up way easier than I thought. But obviously, RPM skyrocketed. I started chasing vacuum lines and blah, 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 blah. And then I come to realize that there's not even an EGR valve on it. So, there also wasn't a coil on it. So I do have, on Rock Auto Closeout, got me a nice XL aftermarket coil hanging out down there. I'm going to see if I can either steal the EGR off of this one, if it's there, or I'm going to have to make me a cap to delete that. But I haven't really showed you that, guys, these things yet. They're both, honestly, they both probably should have went to the scrapyard, but I got both of them for $500. There's only like 20,000 miles on them, but they are retired Castle Point apartment trucks, so they were just pretty much constantly covered in salt. And there's holes in the beds, but they are surprisingly solid, except for the floors that are non-fucking existent. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones, they're the modern Stone Age family. Rocker on this guy needs replaced, but I mean they're all pretty much here. Doing floors ain't no big deal. It kind of sucks that I don't know how far the rust in the back of this one goes, but I mean we did that exact same repair on Sandy, and also for her $500. I got a parts truck, and they're both 2.5 liter, 5-speed Iron Dukes, base models you can possibly get. And my plan is just to lower it a little bit, get it running, driving, probably temporarily fucking sheet metal screw some Steins or something, or some floorboards, and just drive this the rest of summer. At which point in time, come winter, we're probably gonna go stage 2, maybe, depending on where I stand in life and progress made. We're gonna start working on the Turbo 260. We're probably gonna go with that in either Sandy's old 3-speed, or I don't know if these are T5s or MR, what are they, MR 3550 trans or something like that. The T5, they both might take it. That thing's probably only gonna make 300 horse, but let me see if I can get an EGR of this thing, if it even has one. If the hood even opens. Oh, come on. Shimon. I don't even know if that worked. Did that just do anything? Maybe not. Might have to. It worked. Do we have an EGR? We do. Dope. I'm gonna steal that real quick. I lied. I'm just gonna make a block off plate. because I don't feel like using open-end wrenches to fight something out that I really don't want underneath anyway. So I'm just gonna take the air cleaner off the rest of the way, drop my hammer, slide this cardboard in there, and with the back set of my ball peen, just tibbity-tabbity, and let it make a stencil for me. And I think I have some gasket material, and I'm just gonna block that off. A couple of tibbity-tabbities. That's all we needed. And do I have? Are you gonna be big enough? Are you gonna be big enough? Not quite. I had a whole stack of those at one point in time. I gotta still have one. Whatever, we'll find something to make it work. I was about to give up too soon. Boom. Doop. Wow, that resembles a EGR valve, right? I think that'll work just fine. I just gotta find my my gasket material. I don't know where the hell that is. Boom. That looks a lot like an EGR, right? All right, that should plug a hole just like I do your mom. I can't talk. Ruined the whole joke. Jesus. Alrighty. See if we can fire her up and she doesn't skyrocket to red line right away. And you know, as always, safety first. We don't have fuel pump, so can it is. Probably go through and do a tune-up on this thing because that oil smells like varnish and I don't want to cause any more damage to it than might already be done. So alright, carrying on. We got us a jalapeno lime Moscow mule. Let's give this whole thing a tune-up. Maybe check a fuse. I don't know that I want that fuel pump to kick on. I don't know, it's got a full tank in it. And I'm going to assume that that fuel is probably 10 years old. I don't know that for sure. But judging by the fact that the oil straight up smells like varnish, probably. So, I don't know. We're going to give this thing a tune-up. Plugs, wires, cap, rotor, and change the oil, and then address the fuel. And after that, I'm gonna fucking hopefully drive it over here, and we're gonna install that DJM drop kit and our drilled and slotted rotors and half-ass some floor pans, and we're just gonna drive this bitch. Yeah, buddy. Look at all them parts. Boy, take this piece of shit and make it still a piece of shit, but a piece of shit that drives. Oil's out of it. Sorry, I'm kind of jumping around here, guys. Like, I just try to pretty much only record when I'm actually making progress or have progress done. I have noticed a lot of big YouTubers are making like hour and a half long videos that pretty much just seem to be them fucking talking and chit-chatting away, and that to me is annoying. I would rather see you making progress and kind of getting to it, because I don't have an hour and a half to watch a video anyway. Got some Earl, about to pour some Earl in here, fresh filter. Got some Valvoline for racing and classic cars. Because I think this is going to fall into the race car category. It's not quite a classic. Race car? I don't know. Whatever. I'm assuming this has zinc in it. I am assuming. Friction modifiers. More zinc. There we go. That's why it's for old shit. We need that. I know I should finish this tune-up, but I really want to see if I can get it to run a little bit longer than it has. And now that it has fresh oil in it, I'm not afraid to try. Get the throttle. Oh yeah. Oh, you can do that. This is definitely one of those don't do this at home moments. So don't do this. That's why we don't do that, friends. That just melted a bunch of shit. For fuck's sake. I think we're still good. I need to go through and tie up some stuff. But it appears as though we are still good. I haven't looked at my face yet. I definitely lost some hair. Pretty confident that I lost some fucking hair there. Oh yeah. Yep. We'll go through and clean up that fuel injector wire. I think is the only thing that it got. Jeez, what an idiot. Carrying on. So I do have like half of my eyelashes, and I maintain most of my hair, and my forearm hair, you can't see. My forearm hair is still here. But anyway, truck still runs. It fires up. Moving on to the tune-up. And, you know, a lot of guys, and a lot of times I actually skip this step, will tell you to never install your spark plugs right out of the box because they're gapped wrong, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, these are gapped at like 0.75, and this calls for, I think, 4.7 to 5.3, so they're quite a bit larger than they need to be. So I'm going to gap all these plugs, throw them back in here real quick, and might do wires too. I don't know. It's like 90 degrees, and I just set myself on fire. So, yeah. Quick update on the S10 here, guys. Trying to stay motivated. My goal kind of here was to get the thing running and get into the garage, because it's been a combination of 100 degrees and also hammering us with rain, and I'm out here flopping around like a guppy in gravel, which, as I'm sure some of you guys know, sucks. But for whatever reason, and mind you, I suck at electronics. We all know this, but I started dropping the fuel tank to the point where I could, reach over the top of it, unplug stuff, etc., blah, 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 blah. And I got to thinking, I was like, maybe the pump isn't bad. Before I go ahead and drop it, let's check some stuff. I did discover, and don't judge me for using the same color wires, that's all I had, but there was some frays, some cuts, some cracks. So I replaced some section of wires. In between replacing section of wires, I blew a fuse, so the wires must have been touching and grounding somewhere. Replaced the fuse, replaced the wires, and nothing. Hook up the new fuel pump to the plug, nothing. Hook up the new fuel pump to my DeWalt battery, works. But only when the sending unit is all the way down, which would be like an empty tank. I don't understand that. Maybe it needs to be grounded. Again, I don't know. So I jump on some forums, do some reading, swapped out solenoids. I wasn't hearing any noise from the solenoid. Solenoid is now clicking, still no power. Also read that the oil sending unit, which is right there. Can you see it? Me. Yeah, you can see that guy. You can see that guy. So when that detects low oil pressure, it won't send power to the fuel pump. So I thought maybe that was bad. So, and you know, I could have two bad ones, but I've now stolen the O2 sensor, the solenoid, the oil pressure sensor, all off of the other truck, and I still don't have power to my pump. So at this point in time, I'm kind of waiting for my cousin to show up, and if I can, if anything, I'm going to use my little Mr. Gasket inline pump and just put an auxiliary tank in it for now. Like I said, I just want to get it in the garage, and then we can really start hammering on this thing. Also, the only damage that happened while it was on fire was just these wires right here. Just, believe it or not, it didn't get through the jacket, so we got lucky. I'd also like to pressure wash this thing before we get into the garage. But anyways, enough rambling. I'm gonna try and clean my garage, wait for my cousin to show up hopefully this weekend, and I would like to get it running enough to drive it around the front yard, figure some shit out, slam it. And the engine actually started making a weird noise last time I fired it up, so I'm hoping I don't end up pulling the engine out of this one. Enough ranting. Aye! So it's like a week later, made zero progress because I got annoyed and busy, but the Cadillac is gone, the Corvette's gone, Trailblazer is gone, and I have all the room for activities. So, considering I suck at wires, my cousin Eric with the Diplomat should be rolling up any minute now. I'm going to attach it to... Okay, so I've been maybe busier than I'm going to give myself credit for. As you know, my black truck got crushed, and I have just magically reacquired my old white Cummins. So we once again have a fucking Cummins in our life. So I'm going to yank it. I'm going to hook it up to that fucking thing, yank it in here, and not have to work out sweating my ass off in the sun for no reason, because that breeze coming through here is kind of nice. So Jeez, little update, guys, and to be honest, I haven't felt this dumb in a while. So, cousin Eric's here. He brought over his Noid lights, his testers, blah, 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 and we're back and forth, doing this, that, and the other thing, pulling wire loom, and literally found out that when I installed the coil, I didn't fucking plug it in all the way. Once I plugged it in all the way, power to everywhere. The fuel injector works. Fuel pump works. I know, I'm an idiot. So I've spent probably 4 or 5 hours out in like 107-degree weather rolling around on stone, and then called his ass over here to help me do something. You know, literally all I had to do was plug the fucking coil in the rest of the way. So we're moving on. We're gonna finish dropping the tank, put the new pump in it, assuming this tank fits, because it is slightly different than the one that's in it. If not, check the condition of that tank and start lowering this thing and doing the fun stuff, because I'm tired of doing the basic maintenance stuff. I just want it to be low and look cool, right? Yeah. It doesn't have to run, it just has to look cool, right? Just like this thing. It just has to look cool and like impress your friends. Yeah, it just has to look cool. That's all that matters. Standard issue me, have people come over and I stop recording and just start working, but so the new tank I got from the neighbor, which is larger, does indeed fit. Obviously got the new pump and started pulling this guy out, and I was like, man, maybe I should be recording. The sending unit doesn't even barely want to move. Oh my god. I think, is it falling apart?
Yes.
No. Well, I think maybe that fuel pump might be bad. Dude.
Yeah,
Gross. So the only thing we're using from that is the lock ring that I just threw. I need this, just kidding. I need this. We'll just put this over here. But obviously, we got the new fuel pump. And I'm gonna sling that in. What else did I need to do? Fuel pump. Oh, fuel filter. And then I'm gonna put some gas in it, and hopefully this thing's gonna run. At which point in time, I'm gonna proceed to doing my 4-inch drop, upper control arms, brakes, basic maintenance. It does need tie rods and such. So hopefully I don't end up replacing a clutch. That'd be kind of gay. But yeah, that's where we stand. Basically, whole new fuel system, mainly new suspension, new brakes, and
stacks.
Stacks. I'm not doing
stacks.
Okay.
You gotta do stacks.
So this fucking guy thinks I need to do stacks. In fact, he thinks I need to do. Get out of the way. He thinks I need to do dual stacks, which I only partially disagree. I don't know, and this one is unfortunately like probably exactly where I would cut it off. 2 stacks with some flappers on my little 2.5 iron Duke, going through a fucking Black Widow. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where we go, because I would like to hopefully have the exhaust done by the end of this episode too. So we're gonna be low, we're gonna be running, we're gonna have an exhaust. We may not be driving, but we will be looking cool and making noise by the end of this video. Alright, fellers, at this point in time, I lost it. Boom. Got the old fuel filter out. I think what I'm gonna do is, we ran into this issue with the F100, is I put a new engine in it, carb, blah, 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 filter, blah, blah, blah. I left like maybe a 5-foot section of original fuel line, even though we cleaned it out. I still completely gummed up my brand new carburetor. So, gonna be a little bit dangerous. Maybe I'll hook up a hose or something, but I think I'm gonna leave the fuel filter off. I have a new one to put in place, but I think I'm gonna put the new tank and pump in, kick it on a little bit, hopefully flush whatever gunk is out or in that fuel line out of the fuel line, and then we will reinstall the new fuel filter. Wow, I am way stumbling all over my words. More than I normally do. You know why? Because I'm dying. First and foremost, you're not supposed to inhale margaritas. Anyway, I opened a margarita and then I lost it. So then I proceeded to open a beer. So now I'm drinking beers and margaritas. But anyway, that's where we stand. I feel like I'm still making decent decisions on the truck, despite my horrible life decisions currently. But alright guys, so when we come back, tank pump's gonna be in it. We're gonna let it shoot some fucking fuel out of there for a little bit, hopefully not start a fire. Maybe we'll disconnect the coil, blah 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 blah, all of the safe stuff, not have another fire. And I think one other oddball thing I want to do is, I think I have the bracket laying around somewhere. They don't make any cool intakes for these anymore, so I think I'm going to try and build a little bracket. Might have to cut down these studs or maybe get some other ones. I think I'm going to try and make my little Edelbrock air cleaner work on this thing. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, but I think it's going to make me really happy. I might even like pressure wash the engine and, like, heaven forbid, sling some paint on some stuff. I did find out that the the horrible screech I was getting was coming from this water pump. I do have a new Jasper rebuilt, new, on its way. But yeah, this $250 truck is slowly but surely becoming a $1,000 truck real quick. But I will check back in with you after I make some progress. Real quick tech tip, guys, and this isn't for you. This is for the next guy. Over and over again, when I like jump into projects, you can tell someone's been in there. Let's not make it harder on the next guy. Let's not, just because I have easy access to this right now, let's not put this all the way at the top where it's impossible to get. Let's rotate it down to where if this tank has to be dropped again, the next guy has easy access to it. Same thing with this guy. Let's just put this down here to where the next guy can get to it. Same thing with all these guys. Let's not crisscross them back and forth and make it a pain in the dick. Let's make sure the next guy isn't screwed over. What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you intruding my video right now?
Yes.
Are you intruding? What are you doing? Are you coming out here to take over?
What the fuck is sticking out of it?
That's a stack. Eric is trying to convince me to run stacks. If you can't tell by the fact that there's two of them. There's one on each side of the bed.
I see that, thank you.
Eric wants stacks. I disagree. Let's get the ladies' opinion.
No.
Oh, let's get the ladies' opinion. So, what I want to do, okay. What Eric wants to do is that one's kind of cut perfect. Eric wants to run dual stacks, one on each side with like tractor flaps.
Okay.
I want to either shoot through the frame right here and come out right here, or run all the way back and shoot it like right here. Side exit exhaust. If you can't tell by Sandy, if you knew me in my previous years, all of my trucks have always had a side exit exhaust. It's just kind of my thing. What do you think?
The double stacks are a little much.
They are a lot, right?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the whole truck's a lot, being honest. But yeah, I mean, like 4-inch double stacks with fucking ting 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 ting. No? I think it's a lot too.
I think I would laugh every time I see you.
And I don't think the engine makes enough like power to actually like flap the flappers. I'd probably have to put like a weight on them or like a spring to make them close and ting 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 ting. I think I'm gonna have to go with the side exit. I think. And then he saw that I had a Y pipe. And he was like, dude, you literally have all the parts to do it. I don't think I'm gonna do it. No? You disagree too? I think I'm gonna go with the already too large Black Widow neighbor hater. And I'm gonna shoot it out the side of the bed. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Is dinner ready?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good woman. That's a good woman right there. Yes, sir. Let me see that butt. Come back here and let me see that butt. I'm gonna go eat dinner. We got fuel. I was hoping to catch that when I did it, but instead I was in the truck fucking cranking the key, and the second I pushed the clutch and it cranked it just spewed fuel everywhere. So let's get, I don't remember where I put the new fuel filter, but I have one. So assuming this injector works, where did I put that thing? Assuming that injector works, because we know we got spark, now we got fuel, now we just need a method of injecting said fuel, and hopefully this thing's gonna fire up under its own power as soon as I find my parts. Continuing on the half-assed path of failure here, found out the injector that was in here was all rusted and corroded, just like the fuel pump was, not surprised. Plus I broke it on the way out. I also, while fighting it out, took a little chunk out of the throttle body, so I'm continually fighting myself. And then I didn't quite have it seated all the way, and it sprayed fuel all over. And I don't know if man, that seal is right there. I'm willing to bet it's probably going to do it again. I might end up having to try and steal that throttle body, which sucks because it's not in good shape. Damn it. Damn it. So here's how this nightmare continues to go. Jeez. So the good throttle body on the good truck had a bad injector. So my thought was, I'll steal the injector out of this nasty seized up throttle body, which actually did work. However, while swapping out fuel injectors, the good throttle body, it was stuck, and I took a chunk out of it. As you saw, it was squirting fuel up the front. So now, I have completely removed and disassembled the bad throttle body, and I'm going to clean the shit out of this, because this is not broke. I may or may not go ahead and steal the one sensor off of this one, because besides the fact that I broke it, it appears to be in significantly better shape all the way around. So, there we go. Alright. 2 shit carburetors, throttle bodies, torn apart, put together into one. I don't see nothing leaking. I don't see nothing leaking. That mean we're gonna start? That mean we might start? Oh yeah, buddy! Yeah, buddy! Yes, sir! Fuck yeah! I don't have a water pump. I don't want to let it run forever, but... Shit, yeah! Aren't you impressed? Be impressed. Be impressed with your professional mechanic boyfriend. What are you doing out here? Looking all sexy again.
I need you to go kink this.
Ooh, you're trying to get kinky on camera? You want to get kinky? How about I just turn off the valve?
Or I could just put this back on there.
Well, I guess, guys, and yes, it is a couple days later. Surprise. And also, I'm drinking. I'm officially on vacation. At this point in time, the truck runs, so we need to make it sound less like booty hole. And in the theme of keeping things cheap, I'm gonna try and recycle Sandy's old exhaust, which is way too much for the truck. But I do have this 3-inch Angry Housewife, as well as the white pipe I'm not going to use, but I do have, I think, enough 3-inch pipe to tie on to the exhaust, which is about right yonder. Come on back, and I think I'm going to shoot out right there, because there's a gap right here. And I'm going to try and squeeze in and just shoot right here. I think it's going to prevent me from having to do a lot of work. Also, as I was stating earlier, I got floorboards. From my little county hookup, and I've got more than enough signs. I think I'm actually gonna try and save this one. That one's cool, but I got what, 4 speed limit signs. It's gonna be more than enough to do some floorboards with. And then on the mega fallen, actually, I got exhaust. The only clamp I'm gonna use, and we're gonna just keep trucking along like I always say, and hopefully it'll sound decent. I also, where'd it go? Got some gas. About 1.5 years old, so that might help a little. Here's what I'm coming up with so far, guys. My dumbass did pull an incorrect measurement. Ended up having to go back to the parts store and get 2 adapters to make happen what I wanted to make happen. So that, as per usual, online, there's a bunch of back and forth incorrect information. This to fit on here, and look, here's your proof. 2¼ inch ID will slide on the edge of your, it's not a white pipe, your down pipe, I guess, where it starts to flare out. 1¼ inch ID. And then because of what I'm doing, I'm jumping up to a 3-inch ID and stay in 3-inch all the way back through our Black Widow Angry Housewife. I gotta do some trimming. It's a bit on the long side, but we are managing to stay tucked up in here so far. Again, we're just mocked up and such, but where I'm coming out at right now, let's see, can you see that right there? It's a little high, but I do have all this room, so I'm gonna pull a measurement and tuck it down in here a little bit more. But still, I mean, I'd rather come out like right here than like, let me zoom out. I'd rather come out right here than up here. So I'm gonna pull me a half-ass measurement, which, you know, I'm not having good luck with today. And when we come back, I'll probably do some welding and fire this thing up and see how it sounds with an exhaust that's way too large for it. I got this exhaust marked up where I want to come through, guys. Kind of a happy medium of the location that I wanted. And, you know, I'm on the just drive it level. And, I mean, look at the rest of the vehicle, just like we have Sandy. None of this has to be perfect, man. I just want it to be cool and moderately obnoxious and, you know, drive. So let's cut this hole and scratch the truck the fuck up. Apparently that's all we're gonna do is scratch this truck up. This is the same hole saw I used to do the one on the Sandy. Bye. There we go. Oh yeah, scratch the shit out of it. There you go, bud. There you go, bud. So that's more character, right? Right. Where'd that little exhaust piece go? Meh. Boy, that's about worst case scenario, but yeah, that'll work all right. That'll work all right. That'll piss people off as we pass them. As we pass them with our 70 horse. Okay, so that's actually still pretty obnoxious. I was actually kind of hoping it would quiet down just a smidgen. I don't know what I was expecting out of a very large exhaust and a muffler, but I was hoping, like, cruising through the gears. Again, we're not on weight, you know, there's no weight or anything on it, but like cruising through the gears idly, like, it actually kind of sounded all right. I'm Otis Dick noticing again, the fuel is like almost 2 years old. I did just put fresh fuel in it. It does have like a bit of a miss. I don't know if these throttle body units, kind of like a carburetor, if the engine needs to warm up a little bit for the fuel to atomize better. I know they have the heat supply that runs up to the intake, so I'm gonna blame it on that. But I don't. Again, the water pump is trashed, which I have, but I don't want to let the engine get too warm until I have that on there. So we'll address that later. Oh, that's our exhaust, guys. I actually put a little more effort into it than I kind of originally intended. I did full-blown weld everything, and I even shot some high-temp paint on it so it won't rust and match the rest of the truck. So at this point in time, I probably have, I mean, had I bought all this new, I'd probably have more money in this exhaust than I do in the truck currently. So let's weld this thing up, drive it out, hear what it sounds like. And I am running out of room on my phone, so I'm gonna have to edit this video, get it out, and then we're gonna have to do the 4-inch drop on the next video, which I think is fair for DJM, considering they helped me out so much. I think it is more respectful to give them a full episode instead of trying to squeeze them in at the end of it. So we're gonna get this exhaust done, maybe try and make that air filter work, and yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. So. That's it, guys. I'm wrapping this video up. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm out of... I edit everything on my phone and everything, and I am out of room. I have to get this video out so I can start recording the next one, which is probably going to start the next day or two. So we're going to hammer here with like back-to-back-to-back videos while I'm on vacation. As always, I appreciate you. Like, subscribe, share, and we out.